while that may be very important news and a very important message, that is not why you clicked on this video. We are here to discuss. That was research. Oh, no, never mind. Didn't even register. Okay, phone. Honestly, I'm so done with my phone. Look at that. I clicked on research when I said research. It only now, I'm so done with my phone. I'm honestly really considering getting a new phone. Leave a comment below. What phone should I get? I'm looking to stay with Android, but yeah, I'm looking for an Android, Samsung kind of phone. But here's the important news. New research tasks featuring flying and electric challenges. Now, if you saw actually real quick on my research, there was actually Catch 3 electric types. And I had earlier Catch 3 Swablu, and earlier again currently actually have Catch 3 flying types. So they may have already started this. It started to pick up the wind. I'm sorry. I should have the wind filter currently on, so hopefully it helps. But yeah, starting May 1st, everything's going to be changed inside of the research field task and the special field box. So Moltres, this was the last Moltres. I got one. It wasn't like better than any of the other ones, but it wasn't terrible either. It was it was bad, but it wasn't terrible. So we get Zapdos though. That's gonna be awesome. Honestly, I love Zapdos. Getting more Zapdos candies for the Zapdos I currently have. Me and John stopped powering up our Raikou and Zapdos because we reached a point where his Raikou was 3140 and my Zapdos was 3140, and it started getting very expensive to keep powering up Raikou and Zapdos, so we stopped. But I don't know, if I get some good Zapdos candies, you know what I mean. But yeah, Zapdos coming back. That's gonna be very cool. And different research tasks and some like special like skill research tasks. That's honestly very cool. And I'm really liking this like Earth Day event. Besides, the triple Stardust, that's amazing, and the increased spawns, that's very cool as well. Honestly, the coolest thing. Hello, I did not touch any of those buttons. Anyway, so if we go to recent, which is what I was trying to. You can see there, Larvitar, tons of Magikarps, tons of Wilmer. I haven't caught a shiny Magikarp since, my original OG shiny Magikarp. I haven't gotten a shiny Wilmer yet, but I have gotten 4 Larvitar just today. Or 3 Larvitar today, 1 yesterday. So very cool that they've increased like the odds of finding certain rarer ground type Pokemon such as Larvitar, bunch of water type spawns. This is a great time to go ahead and catch a good Rhyhorn if you don't have one, because in Gen 4 it does get a 3rd evolution called Rhyperior. This isn't a great Rhyhorn, so I'm not going to waste a ball on that, but it is definitely a great opportunity to catch a ton of really good Rhyhorn. I've gotten several that were over 1400, none that were really like great as far as I'll actually show you right now, as long as I'm still screen recording. Nothing great, but a ton of just really good, 1400, 1300, 1457, 1419, some, just Pineapple, like the 200s and whatnot. But yeah, just very cool, very easy to get a very good ground type Pokemon in Rhydon, actually, because Rhydon is a pretty good defender. I mean, it's 4 times weak to water and grass and weak to fighting, which is Machamp. But it's a decent defender, and it's a beefy kind of like last tier kind of attacker. Kind of like how Lugia is a good attacker, but it's just slow, but it's beefy. So it's something to anchor your team with, especially if they bring back, say, the legendary dogs as possible. Wait, no, they're not going to do that. Latios and Latias are going back and forth. But when they do bring around Regirock, an all-ground attacking Rhyhorn could be an anchor, but honestly just using Kyogre, Gyarados, Vaporeon, Community Day Venusaurs, Sceptiles. Those are going to be good also, but you can put Rhyhorn in the mix, Rhydon. And then now we get to some very interesting other news. Alright, so we're back on the Go Hub actually. And from the last clip, I think I was a little soft-spoken, so hopefully I'm not too loud now. But yeah, we're on the Go Hub again because before they announced the newest update is actually starting to roll out a little bit. The APK is out for Android. Whoa. Oh, that's going to mess things up. Alright. Officially recording screen. Won't air out this time. So, before they released the fact that they're rolling out a new update, which actually is bringing out some pretty cool features and some cool stuff, some nice, foundation work for some possibly very cool things in the future. We do get wind. We do get new nests. So we have switched over to OpenStreetMap or OSM a while back, and that's when they first started to really understand how Niantic does nests and the L12, L10, L11, all that stuff that I looked at, started reading, was like, nope, and yeah. So basically what that means is that although not all the changes are, it's not visible like in game. Like you can't be like, oh, this is a nest just by looking at it. It doesn't change colors or anything. It's just you start walking around and you start noticing a ton of like drowsy for no apparent reason. You're in a drowsy nest. So around the world in North America, Australia, Europe, and the general Indochina region, people have been submitting the fact that there are new nests just popping up. So that's very cool. So this OSM Planet Dump and Pokemon Go Nest. So it's been a while since they've done this and whatnot. So this Planet Dump was released, 6 days ago. Further, it's been more because this was like a couple days ago that they released this article. So they believe that Niantic used the 29th of March or earlier to create these new nests, and now it's like in the master game files. They're there, and the following OSM tags have been linked with Pokemon nests in Pokemon Go. I'm not entirely sure if these are all new possible nests or if they're just kind of been updated a little bit. But I'm gonna go through them, and looks like Leisure Park. Okay, so there's then more parks, land use, recreation, leisure, recreation, leisure pitch. I don't know what that means. Leisure garden, so maybe gardens are now possible nests, golf courses, playgrounds, meadows, grass, green fields, scrub, heath, grassland, farmyard, vineyard, farmland, and orchard. So this is very interesting because these are all possible new Pokemon nests, or brand new or updated nests, or just possibly new areas that can be nests, which brings about very interesting things for rural players because farm yard, grassland, vineyard, farmland, orchard, these are all places that I immediately associate with rural. So that's very cool. And then meadow, grass, green field, scrub, heath, those I also kind of associate with rural. And even for city players, so it's not entirely focused on rural, because you know that there will be city players that are oh, this is only for the rural players. Shut up. It's been about city places. And me personally, I live in a suburb that doesn't get a whole ton of stuff, but I live right down the street from 3 gyms and 4 stops. Yesterday, I went out there for 2 hours, grinded, and I got a ton of items, mostly because I'm gold in all those gyms. However, if I lived a little bit further out in Loxahatchee or something like that, there's no stops, there's no gyms, but there is a lot of farmyards, grasslands, just green fields, meadows. That's very cool. That means that those can possibly be nests now. Obviously, you got to go out and explore and see, hey, is this a nest now? And just kind of like figure out like, are there a ton of new Pokemon popping up for no apparent reason that wouldn't normally be popping up there, such as finding Drowsies instead of Rattatas or Weedles? Because I've heard about the Loxahatchee struggle. I've known some players that are from Loxahatchee that are like, yeah, we get Pidgeys, or like Pahokee. I have friends in Pahokee. They've been on the channel before. We're like, yeah, we get Magikarps and Bellsprouts. What else? Some Oddish, like stuff like that. So this is very cool. New nests are coming. New nests are already here. I don't know where they are at. And like, I'm honestly very like, is this a nest? Is this a nest? Like, I've been kind of like looking around, like as I've been skating. Like, it's been very cool. And then some more news. All right. So as you can tell, new article. Thanks to the magic of editing. So this is APK teardown of 0.101.0 for Android, and for iOS it's a quick Google search away. So here we are. So there's a ton of new stuff that could possibly be coming, and some stuff that's immediate, such as something that isn't in here now. But what will be coming is the ability to use star pieces and lucky eggs during raids, and gym battles. So like when you're in the lobby and you're like, oh crap, crud, I almost did it. I didn't. Oh crud, I forgot my lucky egg. I have to exit the lobby, go into my item inventory, pop a lucky egg, and go back into the lobby. Hopefully I don't error out. Now you can just go into that little item thing where you can only do like revives and hyper potions. Boom, hit that, lucky egg, star piece, awesome. Now beyond that, there's also a lot of telemetry, which is going to be focusing on like game data and how the game works, how make it run a little smoother. And it's also apparently going to make identifying cheating easier, so probably some more like stuff to like see like are you spoofing, stuff like that. And then there's going to be an in-game weather reporting issue. So that's going to be cool. That's actually like further down, like you can like see it, they go through it. Yeah, there it is. So there's going to be able to like, when you hit the weather tab, you might be able to do this thing like report issue. The weather is not accurate at all, or the weather seems accurate, just not up to date. So like being able to like right now it's cloudy, and let's say it says it's partly cloudy. The weather seems accurate, just maybe not up to date, because it seems like it might be cloudy. Could be partly cloudy. And then like, let's say it's like raining, and it says it's sunny. It's not accurate. Okay? So there's that. So that's going to be very cool. Let's see. More POI submission hints. So this has been in like previous APKs where there's like a little bit there that says, if you don't know what POI submission means, it's basically how they do Pokestops and gyms. So there was a little hints towards that. Now there's even more hints that it's getting like closer to development, which is very cool. It has like the coding, so you can upload images by URLs, etc. You can submit hyperlinks. So it's getting closer to the ability to add like, this is already a stop, but let's say it wasn't a stop. You can be like, hey, this gazebo here could be a stop. Take a little picture of it, submit it, and be like, why should this be a Pokestop? Because it's in like this nice little park. There's a gym near here. Beyond that, or like if this was like in the middle of nowhere, let's say, and there wasn't a gym there and a gym there, you'd be like, hey, this should be something because there's not much else around here. It's a nice little park area. It's scenic, it's kind of cool looking, whatever. I don't know how they're going to determine what are the defining criteria for Pokestops and whatnot, or gyms. So that's going to be very cool. Also, a new fast move, Smackdown. There's no stats on it yet for Rock-type users, and I'll get into that There's going to be a new search filter for mythical Pokemon, and there's going to be 2 new quest types for joining raids and completing battles. So all that stuff is in here. New quest type, new filter, new move, POI hints, all that good stuff, and then weather reporting. Not a ton of asset changes. Just a lot of quality of life kind of stuff. Some bug fixes here and there. And I'm going to stop recording the screen and then get right into actually. Oh, that reminds me of school. That ding dong. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but that's very cool. I'm feeling nostalgic. So, Smackdown in Pokemon Go. How is that going to change things? Will it change things? Because right now the undisputed rock type, like just pure rock type attacker, is Golem. Golem is like the king of rock types, and then Tyranitar is like just a beast rock type Pokemon that has no good rock type fast move, and that could change with the addition of Smackdown, depending on how it works. So right now, Rock Throw is the equivalent, like, I'm going to compare it to Mewtwo, alright? So Mewtwo has Psycho Cut or Confusion. Both are good moves. Okay, you can make an argument for both, because Confusion will deal more damage, but it's slightly slower than Psycho Cut. Psycho Cut will deal more DPS because it's hitting faster, even though it's doing less damage per hit. So the amount of time it takes damage per second, DPS, to put out damage. So you can hit Psycho Cut, or Confusion. Okay, personally, I like Psycho Cut. So Rock Throw, great. And there hasn't been a good other rock type fast move that I can put my finger on. Smackdown could be that one. However, I'm guessing to make it so that Golem is still a good rock type Pokemon, they might make it where it's like Confusion, where it hits harder, but it's going to be slower. So, and honestly, I'd be okay with that, because it does give that other option to make other rock type Pokemon more viable. It could give a much needed upgrade to Pokemon such as Aerodactyl, Kabutops, as rock type Pokemon. It could also make Amistar a good rock type Pokemon instead of just a good water type Pokemon who happens to also be rock type. Obviously, it would make Tyranitar a very, very, very good rock type Pokemon. It could be good for Rhyperior as a rock type Pokemon, or Rhydon as a rock type instead of just as a pure ground type Pokemon, which I touched on earlier. Other good rock type Pokemon out there, of course, Nosepass will have an evolution called Probopass. It'll be a rock type Pokemon. So that could be a good one for it. And then when I first saw this, I was like, why is there a new rock type fast move? Are there any new rock type Pokemon coming? And I was thinking, alright, there's Spinda. That's a possible, because they haven't released some Pokemon. We know this. They haven't released Clamperl and its evolutions. They still haven't put in Smeargle. They haven't put in Kecleon. They haven't put in Spinda, like I said. So and I think I'm missing one, and of course the other mythical Pokemon and the other legendary Pokemon. I know. But yeah, they honestly, I was like, who haven't they put in that is a rock type? And I figured out they could make it as the Regis. The Regis could have Smackdown as their fast type move to make it a little harder for you to attack them. Because Regis Steel, or Regi Ice, Regi Rock, you could use, various Pokemon such as Moltres. If you tried to use against Regi Ice, Fire type Pokemon would be number one, and immediately comes to mind, Fire types, and Moltres, Entei, and Flareon. Your top 3 Fire types, until Charizard with Blast Burn, because that could easily make it into that contention. So, however, you put a Rock-type move on that Regice as its fast move, it makes it a little more difficult. Changes things up a little bit. Regirock would obviously be very good to have dual fast type and fast rock type move and a rock type charge move. Sorry, my brain is starting to come off the caffeine a little bit. I'm kidding. I didn't have any caffeine today. I lied. I had tea. I had chai tea, which is black tea, which has caffeine. Watch my video on caffeine, by the way. Shameless plug. But yeah, definitely very interesting how they're going to use Smackdown as a rock type fast move. I'm personally thinking it's going to be like Confusion. It's going to do more damage, but it's going to be slower. That way, Golem is still a very viable rock type Pokemon. Also, of course, it's probably going to be one of these things where when it gets introduced, it makes certain other things legacy moves. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I'm very excited for a lot of these things. I'm very excited for new nests. That is one reason why I'm kind of going out today, and I'm trying to figure out, is this a nest? Is that a nest? What's new? Also, I am in desperate need of Pokeballs, Great Balls, and the like, because your boy's been out grinding for the Stardust because he's been doing some things. I'll get to that later. Actually, I'll get to that in a different episode probably. But I am very excited about this event, so I'm going to get back out to it. I'm going to get to grinding. Of course, I'm still on the road to level 40. I'm at, I think, 1.5 or 1.6 million towards the 5 million needed. So yeah, I'm extremely excited, and that is actually the episode right there. If you did like it, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. If you enjoyed the series, please subscribe. And as always, God bless, and see you for another episode of Pokemon Go.